Hello guys and welcome to the second daily upload on the channel. Before it happened, potentially it nearly didn't, to be honest. I'll be honest, it nearly didn't, but it has, which is obviously good for the old YouTube. So this video is going to be a brilliant video, something I did loads last year and made about 3-4 million in the space of a few days, which obviously doesn't sound too bad. So we're going to be talking about the Black Friday / Team of the Week 10 Tradeable, Untradeable Team Week SBC, which there's a lot of money to be made. And mainly talking about investing and mass investing in the hundreds and thousands, not hundreds of thousands, that's a bit excessive, but hundreds, or you might want to go a few thousand, in 83s and 84s going for near enough discard. So, what I guess we'll talk about in this video is the SBC being dropped, how long it was being dropped for, I guess the formats or the requirements of both SBCs, what's affected via that. An example of an 83 and an 84 went up last year, how you can invest in that and how to know what card you want to invest in that this year. And finally, I guess we'll throw in, what should we throw in? We'll throw in how to actually buy a limited amount of cards, because that's something not everyone understands. So we're going to head over to the likes of the Foothead SBC Archive. I'll link this, I guess, down below if people are interested. And this is basically an archive of every SBC that occurred. So we've got the Weird World Cup card things. We've got the Halloween SBCs right here. We had, a few early ones, the POTM Mane at the beginning of FIFA. And of course, we scroll further up. We got the Black Friday ones, and then we come to the Team of the Week SBCs. We've got Team Week 10, and we've got the Team Week Upgrade SBC. So basically, you'll see that it said they expired on 29th. These came out on the 25th, which was one day after Black Friday, which did mean they actually ran through Cyber Monday. But the prices strangely weren't actually affected. I thought the 83s and 84s would crash, but really they didn't. So so they run for 5 days. So the 25th, 4 days from the 25th to the 26th, so on and so on. Don't have to insult your intelligence, but they ran out for 4 days. Came out one day after Black Friday and ended on the Wednesday of the brand new Team of the Week, which was quite interesting because it meant that you could obviously stack them pre for the Team Week. But let's say the Team Week was amazing. It's not like you could have done loads really fast. The only times you could have done loads really fast for the Team Week, knowing what the Team Week was, is when they announced it at 3. There would have been like I think it was only a 2-3 hour interval where you could just bang out as many as possible, because I'm not sure if these SBCs ended at 6 or at 5ish. And yeah, so it was pretty good. So let's have a little look at what requirements they wanted. So first of all, we'll go for the untradeable one. The untradeable one just gave you a Team Week 10. You couldn't hold this one. It was like, if your Team Week 10 was trash, you could only get that. You couldn't hold on to a Team Week 11 like you could with the other one. So the requirements they wanted for this was an 83 rating, 30 chemistry, and 11 squad rating. You'll be able to see from this that as a result, you could literally use... You don't have to use players in positions right here. They haven't really done a good example. But you could just use goalkeepers. You could just use strikers. You could use, obviously, like centre-backs up front or whatever you wanted to. So it was really an even playing field. It wasn't like there were 84s that held 10k and there were 84s that hold 5k. It was more... Every 84 hold around about 7, maybe some went for 9k, maybe if they had a lack on the market. Let's say there weren't too many Juan Frans and who went up to 10k as a result, So it's a relatively flat playing field for 84s. There's not really some worth more than others. Mainly that's due to the 30 chemistry, because again, it doesn't really matter what you throw in there. So that is a numero uno. That one wasn't done as much, because obviously you couldn't really profit off something that's untradeable, but I guess it was cheap. There also might have been quite a good Team of the Week. Let's try and find some other examples. So, again, they're not doing amazing. I'm looking for one where they're literally just using goalkeepers. Well, this one is 37 chemistry, so you can see that centre-back's being played, CDN's being played in left mid, goalkeeper can being played there. Obviously people are being 2 man for chemistry. You're seeing that 83s are being, a lot of 83s being using the odd 82 slipping in there. More into these ones, I guess. Are we seeing any 84s really being used? Yeah, I got a few 84s. There are a few different combinations. I think everyone from an 81 to an 84 was affected, but 83s and 84s are most effective investment. So that's the untradeable one done. A little bit less. Here is the tradable one. So this gave you a Team of the Week tradable. The thing about this one is I could hold on to it for whenever. I could go do it this week and go open it in 5 weeks' time. Although that'd be ineffective because we believe that they will actually be re-released in 5 weeks' time. But I could go and do it now, open it in 3 weeks' time when there's a different team of the week. Yeah, it's just how it is. So as a result, it became a little bit more demanded. Also, it's tradable, so if I packed Ronaldo, I could sell my Ronaldo rather than having to hold on to him. So the minimum amount of team week players was 2. Which also means you can invest in team week players, but I'm not really going to be going under that. I'm going to be talking about 82s and 83s. Just because they're a lot better value for money. Because you could go and buy 1 team week player for 13k, or you could buy 13 83s for 1k. The team week player might go up to 20k, but the 83s go up to 4k, meaning I make a lot more money on the 83s to save myself a little bit of maths right there. So let's see what people are using with this one. Now, one thing I believe is, yeah, a bit of a weird one, is I believe that people would use relatively low rated informs and just use high rated golds, because obviously there's a lack of high rated informs and they'd end up costing a little bit more. Let's see if we can find one like that. You know, people using 82s and 84s right there. Maybe that everyone was using the low rated informs. That's what my grand's was making as well in there. But let's see what people are using them. Yeah, people. I mean, you've seen that people are using relatively low rated, which means they would have had to compromise and put a few more 84s in there. Again, only needing 30 chemistry, so it doesn't really matter who used them there. I mean, people right here using 40 chemistry is a little bit overkill. So what this person's using. Because obviously, when you're using chemistry, you're probably near enough. You're going to be buying more expensive players, so it's never really too ideal. As we just go and shout out a few streamers while there, a few of my fellow streamers. So so yeah, you're just getting a little gauge for what the sort of teams people are using with the requirements. So we're seeing that an 83 rating is needed. So now I'm going to go show you some examples of players who went up. We've got 2 players that went up. We've got the likes of Shinji Kagawa's card, which was an 83, and we got the likes of Adariza's card. So I believe I invested heavy in 84s. Don't think I went on 83s. So right here, chat, we have prior. So remember, it started on the 25th. So all the way up until the 25th, we're seeing just around about 1k. Probably could have very easily gone under 1k. And then we see the 25th happens. And he actually rises 1 day before. Maybe that's because he's used for generic SBCs or just a bit of pre-hype random. And there you go. 25th goes up to 21k. I think he more would have been about 4k. I think, yeah, he probably would have peaked at about 4k the day after. So there we go. You got a 1k investment going all the way from about 1 to 4k. That's 4 times on holding it for 1 day, which is pretty insane. And then, of course, he flattened out for about 3.5k. And obviously, Cyber Monday, a lot of packs being opened. And, you know, you got that less initial hype for him. But it's not bad. Obviously, you know, 1 to 4k, we're not going to deny I invest 100k, I get 400k back. I invest $1 million, I get 4 million back. But we'll talk about some of the problems with actually investing in these players in a bit, because there are actually some drawbacks for investing in absolute masses of players. So there we go. Got Kagawa. Again, a lot of players would have worked the exact same. You're buying for 1, selling for 4. Sometimes they might peak up to 6. You know, maybe let's say you're going for a non-rare. Non-rare's peak for some weird reason because there's a less supply. I think if I'm not wrong, we had a Zekel Garai. I'll do a quick search for him right here. I don't really plan on doing this, but I think it'd be an interesting Garai. I think it'd be an interesting one to go and look at because he was a non-rare. So there you go. So look at his generation. This is his card this year. Could also be a really good card this year, to be honest. You know, we don't have that many high-rated non-rares this year, but obviously an 83 non-rare last year. We'll scroll all the way. So this if you wonder what it is, chat, is just a price graph. Funbin has it, just so you can look at the price. You know what they used to be worth. So there you go. Head over November. And what was he? Yeah, for an 83, I guess 5k. Probably peaked about 7-8. Probably went extinct for a little bit. So yeah, not too shabby to go and invest in. But back over to the Shinji Kagawa freaking... No, we just left Shinji Kagawa. But there we go. So we got us the likes of a Garai game. Went from 1k. And again, probably peaked extinct for a little bit. So second player we have, which if you have a little bit more coins, might be a little bit better value for money. Because you... I'll talk about the problems of it. I'll talk about the problems now, actually. So the problems in mass buying and selling these cards is not that you're going to get market banned. It is that you get market suspended. And this isn't that you can't go on your account for 3 months. This is that you can't sell players for... Let's say another 8 hours. Let's say you've been selling them. So on FIFA, you can only buy about 1,000 cards in FIFA. Or 2,000, 3,000. I don't know the numbers. I've never done the research. I might do it this summer. I also don't think it's something EA would give us. You know, even being someone who's, you know, I guess I have contacts to EA. I doubt it'd be some sort of information we could get because I think it's too powerful to people who have auto buys. But basically, because there are auto buys on FIFA, which if you don't know are bots that buy players on FIFA, EA limits us to the amount of cards we can buy every 24 hours because then bots can only buy so many cards every 24 hours and therefore are made less effective. So as a result, I can probably only buy about 2,000 to 3,000 cards every hour, which sounds like loads, but if I have 10 million and I want to put that into Shinji Kagawa's, yeah, I mean, that means I have to buy, say, what, 1,000 Kagawas sets me back 1 minute. I have to buy 10,000 Kagawas, which would generally take me like probably 3-4 days to go and buy because of the market suspensions, because I could only buy about 2,000 to 3,000 cards every 24 hours. It's probably, I'll tell you what, it's even less than that. I bet it's like I can only buy 1,000 every 24 hours. Well, as I can only buy 1,000, that limits me to, let's say, 4,000 cards if I want to invest over 4 days. I'd only be able to invest in, obviously, 4,000 Kagawas. But if I go for likes of Adjariz, who, on the other hand, only costed, if we can grab his price, 3k, although I'm spending 3k and I'm getting 6k back, I'll be able to invest all my coins in him and I'll be able to get more returns. So although it's not as good value for money, because I'm limited by the amount of cards I can buy, it's actually better value for money with the amount, unless I was to, invest in Kagawas a lot earlier. Another problem is the exact same reciprocal, I guess, throwing a big word right there, happens for selling. You can only sell about 1,000 cards a day, and again, this is because of auto buys, because if auto buyers could sell an unlimited amount of cards, it also makes them equally as OP as buying an unlimited amount of cards. So because you can only sell a limited amount, it means that I could literally have like 1,000 Kagawas, which I maybe didn't get around to selling because I was just literally banned and there's only 4 days to sell them, So that's the problem with investing in this, is that there are market suspensions, and to be honest, they're only putting there for our own good, because if there was no market suspensions on FIFA, you would never win another deal, because I was talking to people who run auto buys, I've been on the scene for ages, I've met loads of guys who do all the coin sites and that lot, and I was talking to them, and I think there's 100,000, potentially, I mean, he might have been bollocking me, but he thinks that there's 100,000 brand new auto buys every month, which of course would be insane. You'd probably never win a card if I don't know, half of them or even 20% stays on the market. Who knows? But I'm just these suspensions are in it for a good reason, because otherwise you'd be screwed and probably never win another card, because China they got their raw buyers on lockdown. So yeah, back onto the cards then. So we've got Andrews right here, guys. You could have gone and bought him for about 3k, and then he peaked up around about here at 6-7k, which is pretty decent. Obviously, doubling your coins on him. And yeah, obviously, you invest, say you invest 3 mil, get 6-7 million coins back. Not bad. You have to sell less cards than Kagawa's as well. So yeah, it's been pretty decent. I think because of this as well, guys, we won't see as big of a rise. I'd be surprised if lots of people didn't invest in them. If you want to play it, and this is how I'd recommend actually playing it, don't invest in the super mainstream cards. So right here I have a list of all the cheapest 83s and 84s, or 82s and 84s. You can just head over to Funbin and change up the search criteria. Everyone is going to be going with Kagawa, Super Stitch, Raul Patricio, Pickford, Viviano, Kepa, Aiden, Bauman, Mandanda, Horn, Balotelli, Mata. Everyone's going to be going with the cheap cards. So you know what you do? You go with Farman. Farman might be gone with, because he actually might be one of the cheapos. Let's try and find someone who I don't think will be gone with. You go with Malcolm, you go with Benegi, you go with Pizzi, you go with Taliso. Okay, let the cards calm down a little bit. They're a little bit expensive for the current SBCs, but don't go with the cheap goalkeepers, because everyone is going with cheap goalkeepers. And although you don't need much chemistry, think about this, right? Think there are 10,000, 20,000, there are 20,000 horns all being held by traders, but there is only, let's say 50,000. There's only 1,000 Malcolms, So as a result of less traders holding their cards, it means less people are going to be selling them all at one time, and, well, that's just a theory. I've seen it happen. We've seen it happen many a time that cards that are very heavily invested just don't move too much. So if you go with 83, because you do need 11 of these players, so you can only use so many of these cheap guys. You could go Malcolm, you could go Rabiot. Given that they get cheaper, I'm not recommending you invest at 1.8. I'll tell 5. I'll tell you how much I recommend investing in a bit. But don't go with the super cheap goalkeepers, because that's what everyone is going for, and as a result, they're more likely to crash. Whereas if you go with the outsiders, they'll be hopefully, theoretically, a little bit better. So I think that should be good. Again, I guess I'll go through some of the 84s. I probably would avoid, again, just avoid the goalkeepers. You know, players like Martinez, players like Leno, I get their pricey at the moment, but they'll go down in price. Jimenez, Di Maria. I mean, another thing we're saying, given that these aren't too much more expensive, you know, given that there's no more probably than a K more than the cheapest, you know, because everyone's going with Haradecky, Lopez, Ruffier, Schmeichel, we know, because they're just so cheap. So I guess we'll go on to what do I so how much do I recommend paying? Honestly, it's down to you. You know, like I think this time they won't peak as much, so I wouldn't expect 6-7 off of A84. Maybe I'd expect more 4 to 6, depending on how invested players are. But as you can see, you know, it's like nearly half of what it used to be. And then 83s, because they're a lot more viable to a lot more people, and a lot more people see them being better value for money. I'd probably see 83s maybe high 2s, 3s, you know, unless we have an absolutely bang team that everyone wants to do. I don't see them being as good this year because obviously we got a lot of pre-investing which just didn't happen last year. But I say I did make about 3-4 million last year investing between Black Friday and the next day. It was probably one of my biggest feats we did last year. So now, so again, I'll say that again. So 83s probably pay about no more than 1.2k for. Shouldn't be too hard. They'll go down to that in no time. And 84s, again, I'd pay probably no more than 2k for. What's it? No more than 2k for? Yeah, no more than 2.5. You know, these cards drop down to about 2.2k very, very commonly. I mean, once this Europa SBC is over, which ends this Friday, should be good. So now what we're going to do is show you how to mass invest in these cards. So if you guys don't know, you can actually buy an unlimited amount of cards on FIFA. I actually have a little example right now. So I was just seeing if we could have got rid of anything. So right here we have Claim My Items. Claim My Items is literally all these cards are pre-invested in. So because I only have, I don't know what I sold on. There you go, beautiful. Because I only have 15 spaces on my transfer list, of course, theoretically I can't buy any more than 15 items. But I have 43 items stored here in my Claim My Items, and I'll show you these are all investments. There you go, I've invested in some UCLs recently, which did pretty well. I made about 2-3 mil off them, which is pretty decent. Using the unassigned mate. So you'll see that I have 43 cards right here. So I wouldn't show you all that right now because it's not fast. But that's just showing you an example you can have more players. So let's go and pick ourselves a 83 that I'll probably sell off after I've done this. So we'll go with the 83 of... Who'll be cheap? We'll go with Rui Patricio. So again, probably not a guy I'd recommend, but just for example's sake, he's cheap. So Rui, I'm sure he's not offended. Patricio is going to be sending about 900 coins. So let's say I want to go and buy hundreds and hundreds of him, right? It's going to annoy me because I'm probably going to lose, like, I don't know, for like 20k after this, but we'll show it for example's sake. So I'm going to go and buy 20 Rui Patricios. Again, nothing off the normal. Just go and buy loads of players. Obviously, I'll be able to buy up to 35 and then it'll kick me out. So there we go, Rui Patricio. You can start investing in these as early as you want. I'd probably would recommend wait till the Europa League promo is over, which is this Friday. So give yourself exactly 1 week, I guess, because the Europa League is holding a lot of these 84s and 83s up. So yeah, I'd say, you know, wait till then. Another interesting thing I think is a lot of the SBCs they're dropping are actually lasting about a week. So there's actually not going to be too much time between the Europa's ending and Black Friday starting, which I think is some interesting, you know, like Black Friday, I don't know, some like counteracting the crash by actually making these guys worth coins all the way up until Black Friday. Like, I don't know if too many people have been observing of that, but so there we go. So let's say I've bought that amount of coins, I've gone and assigned it. Well, now we're not unfamiliar to this screen right here, which is the you know, the center transfer list and so on. So now I have all of my cards right here, all of my Rui Patricios, which again I could try and send to my transfer list right now, but obviously there's still gonna be a lot of cards to go. You know, I'll try and send them all up here. I'll send them all up here anyway. I'll sell them off YouTube here. And there you go. So that's now full. So now you're in a bit of a predicament. Now, if you do send stuff to the transfer list, you do need to press R2, otherwise it won't save that. So there you go. But we're still here, you know. Do I have to discard the cards? No, luckily not. So you want to press, I guess I'll show you like this. I've got next remote right here. You want to press B, or not B, sorry. You want to press circle right here, chat. And again, B right here. Nope. There you go. B right there. circle right here, and pressing that will put you on here. Don't panic. This is literally nothing to panic about. You know, you're not in any sort of threat of discarding your cards. From here, obviously, you want to scroll up, and you want to press exit and sort later. And then obviously press X or press A. And there you go. So that's going to put us on the screen I was on earlier, where it said that I had cards in my unassigned. And now what's interesting is there's a bit of a visual glitch. So it says that there's only 35, but once I click on here, there will actually be more than 35 cards. I don't know if I'm covering how many cards I have. I actually am, brilliant. But there's actually 50 cards. You'll see that I got rid of all the Raul Patricios. Don't worry, your other Raul Patricios aren't discarded. They're all still here. And again, you press O to back out. And you can store unlimited cards. Because earlier, again, I would have bought way more than, I would have way more than 50 cards on my unassigned. But it's a visual glitch and only shows up to 50. And as I say, you can do this unlimited for 83s and 84s. And obviously, to get the cards, you just head over there and sell them. So, drawbacks, I guess, with this is you can't actually sort the cards. So, for example, let's say I was all invested up in these blues, and all the 83s were behind. So, the generic mechanic of this works as the later you buy the cards, basically it's first in, first out. So, I bought these blues a while ago, so they're going to be at the beginning. I'm going to be able to sell them on first. The 83s, they're going to be at the back. If I now go and buy a bunch of silvers, they're going to be behind the 83s. If I go buy a bunch of bronzes, they're going to be behind the 83s. So, it's kind of like a, you know, as I say, first in, first out. And so on. So it means if you have other investments, or if you want to make other investments, you're a little bit screwed. Now, something you can do is jump onto the web app, bid on the cards, then send it straight to your club if you want to do an SBC or build your squad in the meantime. But so it's a little bit pain in the ass if you you only have the Xbox to work with. So I believe that's good. You know, demonstration done, drawbacks done, requirements done. I guess do a little recap. So we expect to see this, I guess, this year. Float in my calendar. From the 24th all the way to the 28th of November this year. Again, I'd expect the same sort of requirements. They could change up. They could not release it for all we know. Should be, you know, greatly appreciated, yeah. But yeah, so invest in your 83s for probably no more than about 1.2k. Invest your 84s for no more than 2.2k. And yeah, just hold on for a week. Best of luck. Hopefully you guys make some good money. I guess now it's time to plug a few things. If you did like the video, make sure to drop it a like. You know, I spent a fair bit of time, I don't know, no, I don't actually spend the time editing it. I spent time writing up. You're not here for fancy editing or, you know, noises or anything like that. You're here for the information, which is terrible, non-French. So yeah, so if you liked the video, make sure to drop a like. Subscribe if you want you know, daily YouTube videos. I mean, I'm closing on making 10, 11 million. Hey, I don't want to do my own trumpet or anything, but, you know, I feel like my advice probably isn't too shabby. You can follow me on Twitter. I tweet when I'm live, and obviously YouTube videos are live. I don't know if I tweet too much else, to be honest, but hey, just follow me on Twitter. If I don't tweet too much, I don't feel you. I don't do, you know, the retweet or, you know, gives you good luck. Trust me, you know, I can't stand that. All right, what else we have? Check out the Twitch. Twitch is down below. I stream every single day, quite a lot of hours, probably about 10 hours. I try and do 10 hours a day. Anything more? Not really. Oh yeah, you can subscribe on Twitch with for my daily trading guide. Alright, trading guides for my subs is a bit of a sub perk to give a little bit of value for money, I guess, as such. You can get that free of Amazon Prime, or so you can pay for it. I think that's about it. See you guys tomorrow with another investing video. There was actually, I wanted to do talk about icon investing at the moment, but high rates were a little bit too expensive, so I kind of refrained from that. Also, I was going to talk about generic Black Friday, but I decided to go with this one instead because I thought it would be quite an interesting video. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video.